What price have you paid for speaking up and being a free speech advocate?
Um,
Have you lost any personal friends? Because I have.
I haven't actually. Oh, not that I'm aware of. um, I think there are people that disagree with me vehemently who are good friends of mine. Um, but as I said, we have a conversation, we disagree, and we go, oh well, we disagree. We can still be mates. It's not a problem. And so I've managed to keep those situations in check, and I've managed to keep my cool when I'm passionate about something. But I also am passionate about free speech, and I understand that people are going to have different opinions to me. So that's absolutely fine. So I haven't lost any kind of personal, real close personal friends over COVID at all. I probably did lose my job, if Sky are honest. Um, I think I've resigned as an ambassador at Southampton Football Club, which was my decision. Um, I can't really say that you know I've lost that because I spoke out. It was my decision to resign.
Did you do that to protect the club you love?
That's exactly what I did it for.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly what I did it for, and that's the only reason that I did it. It cost me a little bit of money. It wasn't a huge job. It wasn't something that I relied on in my life to pay my mortgage, which I still have. So yeah, I lost in terms of work. I've lost a few jobs. I actually also turned down. This wasn't really to do with freedom of speech, really. Well, I kind of guess it was a little bit, but the PlayStation game, FIFA, the EA Sports game, the very popular FIFA game. My agent came to me about, I think it must have been about 18 months ago, maybe 2 years ago now, and said they're doing a Legends section on the FIFA game, and they'd like to use your image, and here's a 6-year deal, and would you be interested in signing up to that? And it would have meant that I would have had to have done not only my image, but I would have had to done a little bit of PR for the game, and a bit of PR for FIFA. So I've probably spent the last 3 years on my social media account giving a lot of criticism to FIFA, who, let's be honest, are not the most trustworthy organisation in the world. I think there's been a lot of corruption, a lot of bribery allegations in FIFA, which have all quite a lot of them have gone to court, been proven, and so I've been calling out FIFA for their corruption over the last few years. And so when I went back to my agent, I said, well, I don't really want to have anything to do with FIFA, if I'm honest. I've just spent the last few years slagging them off on my social media account. I don't really want to have anything to do with them. And obviously my agent was a bit disappointed because he's obviously missing out on his cut of the deal. And he said, is there no way that we can kind of get around it with the FIFA thing? So I said, well, I'm not backing down on the FIFA stuff. So if you can do me a deal with EA Sports, which means I don't have to promote anything to do with FIFA and do any work for them, then I'll sign it. and so a couple of weeks later, the offer was withdrawn, and so I didn't sign that contract with FIFA or with EA Sports.
Good for you, because it's talk's cheap, but when people dangle money in front of people, we've got Gary Neville going to
As
Qatar.
We've just seen with Gary going to Qatar, yes.
So, once you dangle money in front of people, it's amazing, especially socialists. It's amazing how many socialists go, oh, thank you for the money, comrade.
Champagne socialists you're talking about there?
Yeah, absolutely. I think my very, very last question is, after everything we've talked about, everything you've done, some of the turmoil you've been through, do you sleep okay at night?
I sleep great at night. I've stood up for what I believe in. I don't suggest that I've got everything right over the last couple of years. There have been maybe one or two mistakes that I probably shouldn't have done, which I apologise for when I realised that that wasn't the right thing to do. which I think is the way that people should behave. I feel like I can walk out my front door and I hold my head up high, and I get a lot of people coming up to me in everyday life, in the real world, not in that social media fake world. In the real world, I get a lot of people coming up and thanking me for sticking my head above the parapet and saying what a lot of people are thinking.
Fantastic. As long as you can sleep at night, you know your conscience is clear.